Welcome, listeners, viewers. Welcome to the Real Stuff Podcast. And today is Wednesday, and as always, we have a featured guest. And today's featured guest is Jamaica Consul General to Miami, Florida, Mr. Mair. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good. Also with me is my co-host, Courtney.
Good to be here.
So, Consul General, could we start off by you just tell people a little bit about you and about your position, please?
All right. Yes, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Yes, I'm Oliver Mair, Consul General of Jamaica, based in Miami for the Southern United States. So we're not just responsible for Florida, we actually cover 12 other states. We have Georgia, we have Texas, we have the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, we have Alabama. We go as far west as Arizona. So quite a large geographical region. So persons who, they want to renew their passports, they will send down to us, or persons who would like to become Jamaican citizens, we're entitled to do so. We have two options: by descent or by marriage. So persons will come through the office, and there are a long list of things that we do, but primarily we look out for the interest of Jamaica and Jamaicans here in the region, whether from business, tourism, culturally. We get involved in some aspect of any kind of business that Jamaica has here in the Southern United States.
But that's a big portfolio, man, a big area. How do you manage that? What your staff count is like?
We have 16 members of the team. So we have to rely a lot on working closely with the community. So, in each area, there are the community groups that, we will work closely with. So a lot of what we will do is representational work. So persons will invite us to come and represent at different events throughout the states. And so we'll try and get things done through our communities. And we try to use as much, virtual as possible as well. So, if we're putting on an event, we try and stream it so that persons from the different states can tune in. For example, we had an investment forum just last week. And, we had a presenter from JamPro, we had from Tourist Board, we had from Blue Maho, we had a gentleman from Inner Circle, Abibe Lewis, and Professor Rain Jarrett, who spoke about mental health. And we streamed it, so it's actually on our Consulate General page, so persons can tune in. Once they like the page, they will see these videos going up, and they can go and view it, get the information that they need. But it's a wide area. It's hard to cover the whole thing, but we have some good people in the community who support us.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how are you liking it though?
Fantastic. I mean, the community has been very, very receptive, very supportive. The demands are there. My job is basically 24/7. And but the good thing is that the energy is so positive in the community that each event, I'm energized for the next one. For example, on Saturday, I had 7 events alone on Saturday.
Wow.
7 events. And when I say events of different natures, for example, if there's a funeral in the community, they will invite me to come and say a few words. There were a couple reggae month events that I was a part of, and so different engagements. We had a Jamaica Tourist Board event that we had on Miami Beach. So I said a few words, and the band insisted that I come up and perform a song for them as well, which I did, you know, and just vibes up the crowd. And we gave away a weekend for the couple who could come up and sing a Bob Marley song. So, you know, we're heavily promote our culture, and we try and get persons to fall in love with Jamaica and come and visit us or do business with us or want to hear more about us, you know. So
I hear that you're a big singer, man, a big performer.
well, listen, I love singing. I get different reviews. There's some people think I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and then others who will say, man, see, we know you just love singing. We know you're not the best, but we know you love it. So, you know, I enjoy it. I enjoy music. And so you will find that I have literally made myself available to the community, you know, especially if they're doing, you know, cultural events or they're doing reggae concerts. You know, I'm good friends with a lot of the artists up here. And so they will call on me to support their events. And we work together because I want to see them do well. And I enjoy entertainment because I like people to feel good about themselves. And somehow reggae music has a way of bringing out a better part of our personality as a people. You know what I mean? You can't hear One Love. Yes. You can't hear Bob Marley singing One Love and want to fight with anybody, you know? It's just love and good vibes, you know?
Yeah, well, definitely. Yes, Consul General. I see that you're heavily involved in theater and arts, and you also won an actor boy. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. So I do work like Saturday Night Live type productions, and we made fun of politicians. You know, you know, topical events in the community. I laugh because I've had to interact with many of them over the years since the production, and many have actually come. They've come to the production, and we don't hit them too hard, but we try and capture their mannerisms. And you know, I've done Michael Manley, I've done Edward Seaga, impersonations. We have done topical things in the community. So if something is very topical, then we would put it in the skit. We'd put it in one of the 20 skits for the night. So each week people would come back and could almost see, I wouldn't say a complete different show, but they would see something that was topical come into the show, you know? So whatever is happening for the week would be reflected. And we would typically use a couple talk show hosts. So when I used to do it, Mutty Perkins and Babatunde were two big names at the time. So I would use them and have a skit with them. So using that skit, we would talk about whatever was topical, literally for the day. So I won an Actor Boy Award for production, you know, and I've also and performed I've performed with University Singers and the Jamaica Musical Theatre Company. So I love the arts, and the arts, you know, you can speak to somebody and you reach their mind, but through the arts, you touch their heart. So the arts very important, especially in telling our stories as a people. The arts is, you know, extremely important.
Seems like you're the right man for the job that you have now. Well, because also seeing that you were with Air Jamaica.
Yes. I did a stint with Air Jamaica, and that helped in terms of visiting different states. So from very early interacting with our diaspora in different states, different islands. And, you know, my last stint, I left as marketing manager, regional marketing manager. And so I had to work closely with the Jamaica Tourist Board, the Jamaica Hotel Association. So from very early, I had those linkages, the travel agents. And so, you know, it has all come back to help me in this particular role. You know, all the varied experience I've found to be quite helpful. So when I'm working with Tourist Board, it's not new territory for me. It's somewhere I've been before, because Air Jamaica was like a university by itself, you know, a really good experience.
Oh yes. Oh, yes.
So, Consul General, so how long is your appointment? I see that you were appointed in 2018. So, how long does this appointment last?
So
you can't leave South Florida, you know.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate those kind words. So the appointment was for 3 years, and I just renewed my contract a couple of months ago. So
good.
We take it from there, and we just continue to work. Wherever we're asked to serve, we'll do our part. And whenever this chapter is finished, we'll hand the button to somebody else. But we're not quite there yet. We still have some more work to do. And I was so happy. 2 nights ago, we had a production with Ashe. We brought up Ashe, and they performed, and we celebrated Marcus Messiah Garvey and reggae music. So we closed Black History Month, celebrating our first national hero, and we gave out 9 community awards under the acronym RESPECT. My friend Jeff Phillip coined this acronym RESPECT, which encapsulates the main messages from Garvey, which are R, redemption of the African race; E, importance of entrepreneurship; S, importance of self-reliance; P, purpose; E, for importance of education; C, the value and the criticalness of community; and T, for traditions, the importance of traditions. And so we were able to award different members of the community, including Marcus Garvey's daughter-in-law, who lives here in the community, Jean Garvey. She was one of the recipients. Okay. It was well received, and we're happy for that, because we have supported the petition for Garvey. They're trying to get 100,000 votes, but we also, of course, regardless of what, we believe his message is relevant for everybody, not just for Jamaicans. And I keep telling people, Garvey is not just about, he's not just Jamaican hero, it's a world hero. And we're proud.
Man, international man, yeah man, oh yes.
So we're happy that he is another legend that has come out of Jamaica.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, I noticed you don't even mention your version of My Way in a duet.
You did your research, man. You did your research. Listen, Bonnie Rose said to me, singer Bonnie Rose, who is one of the finest singers in Jamaica right now, and he said to me Friday night, he says, CG, I want to be on that Garvey show, and I also want you to come and sing something with me. And I said, man, let's see. And he sent me the words and everything. I mean, I knew the song, but I didn't know the words that well. And he sent me, and I almost told him, boy, I was too busy to practice. Almost backed out. And I said, no, man, if anything, I just use the words on my phone. I'm so happy I did, man. It came out so well. People have been raving about it, and it was good to really serenade these winners. And my community is extremely generous with their applause. Even if you're not the best, they will encourage you. And I was pleased with how they responded, and it was a good night. It was a good night.
Yeah, well, because I thought I was listening to an opera singer.
Listen, with the right soundtrack, you can come across being far better than you actually are. And listen, I listen back, and I'm saying, whoa, this thing never sound too bad at all, And Bonnie Rose helped me, though. I must tell you, singing along with him was really a good experience. And I'm so happy for the talent, so much talent we have here in the community. And Bonnie Rose, Steve Higgins, and those guys have consistently supported the work that we do at the Consulate. And we thank them for all the support that they've given to us.
Yes, CG, I've heard that, you're the most transparent CG ever. Because, like everywhere there's an event, they can find you. Everything in the community, You know, because I follow your page on Facebook.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And I see a whole everywhere I look. I said, wait, hold on. The CG look like is that as I said 24/7 thing. So because you're so transparent. How did you? How you really manage that?
Well, first of all, I have to salute my wife, Tanya, and my daughter Serena for giving me the space, because if you don't get that sort of support at home, then it's difficult. It's difficult, and I mean it's I do try and make up at the family time outside of those periods, because my wife is more introverted, so she's not really out there with the events as much, so I do have to make up at the time when I go home, quality time. But I must tell you, it's what I like about it. It's the you get the support, you get the energy from the community, and they fuel you with that energy, and so there's a level of reciprocity, and I find that I'm energized. I don't leave an event feeling drained. They encourage me, and so in that regards, I look forward to the event. I look forward to going there, and I feel like the energy I get from them, I just feel to continue. I just keep pushing, and so it doesn't feel like work for me, even though at the end of the day, it does take a toll. You do need to catch up on your rest and your vitamins, but they have been very supportive. And I want to use your program to just highlight that we have a 5K coming up on May 7th, where we're, again, it's going to be the third year we're doing this walk run. And all the proceeds that we raise go towards adopting clinics in Jamaica. And so far we have adopted 4 clinics. And this year we're going to be doing some more. So persons can register by going to www.jamaica-5krun.com, which is www.jahi5krun.com, and you can register and provide some support towards community healthcare in Jamaica. And why I quickly jump to that is because that group, the High Five group, has been extremely supportive. All events that I do, we have a WhatsApp group, and the persons in that group tend to come and volunteer at the different events. So at the Asher event that we had, they were there volunteering. We did a watch party for Reggae Month the night before, and again, they were there setting up and helping to support, because we have a very limited team at the consulate. And so again, we have to rely on the community to carry us through the various events that we do.
If you send us a flyer, we can show it, from time to time during the...
Yes.
Between now and then.
And
any event that you're doing, you could send it to us, and we will help you put it out there.
I appreciate that. And I look forward to both of you registering as well.
Well, Flavius is in Jamaica, and
I'm in Jamaica.
As I told you, I am in New Jersey.
No, that's perfect, because there's a virtual element. You don't physically have to come to the run. You can register and do it virtually. And when I say virtually, do it at any time, and then post your time and stuff. It still go back to the same clinics that we're working with.
Yeah, okay.
Will do.
Excellent.
Yes, we also noticed that you're an avid sports fan, and there's a fact that I didn't know until I read it, that you were also the vice president of the Jamaica Table Tennis Association.
That's right. Yes, that's correct. My grandfather was the first president of table tennis in Jamaica. And
wow.
I played table tennis between the age 14 to 17 consistently. And so, you know, they say that those who don't quite make it as a player end up in administration. And, you know, I ended up as a vice president for the association, and I'm closely associated with the team. President Angelou, we speak on a frequent basis, and I work with the various members of the community. Will reach out to me for support, and up here I do play. There's a club here, Broward Table Tennis Club, and I'll go there and play and try and keep fit with that. But table tennis. So
how are you now? You still sharp?
Well, listen, you know, sharp is relative. Sharp is relative. You know, you have some people in the community who will want to challenge you, and they think you're the best, and you beat them easily. But when you go and play with some of the other levels, you realize that you have so much more to grow. So, but it's a fun sport, and a lot of people have played table tennis over the years. I was shocked. I was with Kimani just yesterday, and his mother is a former Caribbean champion for table tennis.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I said to him, you know, I want to come and visit your mom because I heard so much about her over the years. And the first thing he said to me, well, CG, no problem, you know, but you have to play me first. So already we have a match set up, you know. And the other day I was with Jabalani. He's the head of Roots Foundation. And I mean, these guys live, eat, and breathe Marcus Garvey work. And
I know, yes.
I always support them. And so the other day they invited me to the Miami Book Fair. They got a booth there, and they invited me to join them to speak. So I was there speaking, and I just happened to mention, you know, I was speaking about many facts to Garvey, and they were nodding along. But when I mentioned about table tennis, that's the first thing them stopped me and said, CG, what you say? Table tennis? We never know you play table tennis. No, man. We need to link up for some table tennis. So it's like they were more excited about table tennis than Garvey. You know, so every day they wanted to CG, don't forget, you know, we need to go and play some table tennis. So table tennis is a good, I find that a lot of people play table tennis over the years, and it's a good way to build a little community vibe. And in that regard, we're looking to put on a Jamaican table tennis tournament later in the year, working with President Lou in that regard. And we hope to have a diaspora champion later in the year, especially for the 60th.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But so you still have some loops in the arsenal and some smash and freak and all of that.
I see you know it, man. I see you know it, you know. And some of my serves, I must tell you, they are not, they used to work, but no, when I go and play, them tell me that they're not legal again. I have to throw the ball some more. So I have to figure out something.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, man.
On this note, that I heard that you're a volunteer at the Tower Street Correctional Facility in the end violence program. Can you explain to our listeners and viewers what is this end violence program?
Yes. You know, 75% of inmates who leave the facility end up getting back in crime. And so there's a program that was started in the States, and they brought it in Jamaica, a leadership course. And it was a way of getting persons to own whatever they had done, committed, and also to help to bring out the leader in them. And so, you know, I was a part of a team that volunteered there, and we went into the correctional facility, Tower Street, for 2 years. And so I got to meet these gentlemen who are just like you and I, just made a bad decision. just made a bad decision. And when you listen to some of them, you know, they will tell you a little bit about what they did. And when you hear what happened and the lives they were living before, you realize that these are just regular people, just like you and I. And, you know, we spent some time there, and you know, I saw a couple of persons in there that I knew before. In fact, there was one gentleman who 2 days before he committed his crime, I actually had met with him in my former job, and he was looking a little nervous the day I met with him, and I said, I remember saying to him, boy, you don't look yourself. And then a couple of days after, there was a particular incident that happened with him, and he ended up in prison. And you know, really good guy that I knew from a company that I worked with before. And you know, just good people made bad decisions. So you really learn to be less judgmental, and it's so important that we don't consider our inmates to be less than. They are still human beings. They have to recognize that what they did was wrong. And many of them have owned up to it. But we have a responsibility to ensure that when they leave the facility, that they don't come out to reoffend. And so that the program was about that, you know, to end that circle of violence that they have found themselves caught in. And we were encouraged by the statistics. Many of the persons that participated in the program moved on and have become very functional in society, and you know, gone on to do good things. And so it's important that, you know, we don't look at it as a problem there for the government alone to deal with, but we all have to find our little way to get involved. And I remember that when I got involved, was just at a stage where I said, listen, it can't just be about myself. It must be something I can do to just give back without nothing in return. There was nothing in return for me. You know, it wasn't like I was looking to put something on my resume or, you know, looking to get some credits for a course. This was just me giving back to Jamaica and spending, just giving back something back to my country. And, you know, I ended up getting a lot from just giving back of my time to persons. And you get to value your own freedom. You get to value what you have. You get to do some self-reflection, and also just simply give, because it's not all about ourselves. And when we start to look beyond our own individual needs and see that we're playing on a bigger team, the team of mankind, we realize it's not all about us. We really have to do some giving back. And I do believe, even as we look at the problem of crime in Jamaica, you know, I think more and more persons need to take the perspective that we have to each individually look on and say, where am I at fault for the problem of crime in Jamaica? Because it's easy to lay the blame on the one security minister, whoever it happens to be. But we have seen a slew of security ministers, and they have not been able to get this thing under control. And so we each have to take some personal responsibility and see what we can bring to the table to help in this national issue. And so that was part of my giving back.
So is the program still going on now?
The program is not going on. It was just a few of us. We did it for a few years. You know, I came up here, and the person who had coordinated at the time, she also moved out. But the correctional officers, we didn't even realize that it was having an impact. But they said to us at the end, they said that this was the most effective program that they have seen in all their years being there. And so, I mean, we didn't do it for that reason, but we were encouraged that at least, you know, we're having a positive impact. Because we also did a program with them. the same program that we did with the inmates, we did it with their leaders, with supervisors, and so they knew what was happening. They knew what the inmates were being taught. They got the same lessons, leadership, responsibility, and several topics that we covered. So it was a very good experience.
Probably you need to try and get it started again. I mean, with different people, you know.
That's correct. I agree with you. I agree with you.
That seems to be vital right now.
Yes, it's very important, and it's needed. It's needed at all levels, you know. So that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, we need things like that. I mean, in a major way, not just. I mean, you probably did you know, one facility, but with your experience and all that, you know, and if you have documentation, you can pass it on to other people, so they can, you know, move ahead.
Correct. And I acknowledge the leadership at the time. I mean, it happened under, I think it was Minister Bunting who was in charge at the time. And I'm not using that to single him out in any way at all. Just crediting him for allowing the program to happen under his watch.
Yeah.
Yes, and so he came in at one of the sessions that I was there, and he delivered one of the lessons as well, because it's based off a program called Landmark Education, which we all did together. And so he came and he delivered one of the sessions, which it was good to see the minister come in and be actively involved with the inmates.
Yeah, be a part of it, yes.
And then there was a change of government, and Minister Charles came in as well, and he also shared with the inmates in a very man-to-man way. You know, he didn't know about the program necessarily, but he just came to share with them. But his reasoning with the gentlemen, I thought, was well received. He must talk to them as man on man, and there was a certain level of respect that was there that I thought was quite empowering. He wasn't speaking down to them; he was interacting with just man on man, and I think that's so important, that we don't make these gentlemen, we don't let them feel less than. What they did was wrong.
Yeah.
But just provide support to help them to be a better version of themselves.
That is so wonderful, yeah. And like I say, it needs to come back.
Yes.
Because we are at a place now where we have to do the conversion the other way. Because right now we have the conversion from the students to the gangs.
Correct.
We need a conversion on the other side now.
Correct.
If we don't do that, I mean, we are in serious trouble.
That's correct. But the one point I want to make on all of this, though, is personal responsibility. If each of us, as a society, view the problem as our problem, then immediately, when you realize that it is your problem, you start to find little things that you can do individually, like mentoring somebody from a garrison community, or providing some kind of support, or get involved in a youth group or something. But we each have a role to play. That's a message I want everybody listening to take on. It's not a problem out there. It's a problem that resides right here within you and I. What are we going to do to deal with the problem? That's a key message I want everybody to get.
Oh, that's a very, you know, a great message, because it's everywhere, and, you know, all these people who are involved are our family, you know.
Correct.
Our neighbors, our schoolmates. We can't take ourselves away from it.
Correct.
We are right in the middle of the whole thing.
Correct. And if we don't, if we view it as a problem that is below halfway tree, don't worry, man. It'll come above halfway tree at some point. So we have to collectively deal with it. So that's, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Mr. CJ, I think one of the problem is that some of the social programs in schools have been, malfunction. Because back in time, you used to have cadets, scouts, 4-H clubs, all these activities going on in the school.
Excellent.
Yeah, and, nowadays I heard that you don't have much of those activities anymore.
Correct. And I think it's so important. I remember growing up on, you would always have these poems that you would read, recite in the morning. And, you be encouraged to get into the Boys Scout or Girl Scout or good news club. And these sort of things are set the stage for better citizens. And it's important. The civics program is so important. I know civics, I believe they had that stopped civics at one point. They need to ensure we have civics. I'm happy to hear that Gavi will finally, they are working on having that, in schools. I think that's so important.
Wow, that's great. Yes.
Yeah, man. It's I'm here. It's quite advanced, the discussion. So hopefully we will see that. And yeah, man, we each have to become better versions of ourselves for a better Jamaica. I agree with you about the cadets and the Boy Scouts and and this is where sports is important because, playing on a football team, when I was at Vaz Prep, I was part of the football team, and we, that regimen of training, working together for a goal, and how you accept victory, and how you respond when you lose, and how you work towards a goal, and how you work as a team. Those are some key lessons that you learn in sports. And the importance of sports cannot be understated. And I encourage us to continue to drive sports in communities, because kids playing sports, there's one more distraction from them getting involved in a gang. If they can look towards going away to, representing the Reggae Boys or becoming on the bobsled or becoming the next Usain Bolt or Shelley and Fraser Price, give them something to look forward to. Give them the resources that they need to put that young energy towards something productive. And sports and music are two strong avenues to channel our young people to get them away from the lure of scamming and gangs.
Well said, well said, well said. But we have to put in the work, because, like I said, we need the conversion the other way around. We are putting them in sports and all these extracurricular activities that are good. We'll keep them in the right line, for the most part.
Yes, and opportunities for young people. We each have to look, even here in the diaspora. One of my charges to the existing groups here, is to develop young leaders in your teams, because many of the groups here, the leaders are, the entire executive team is above a particular age, and I'm encouraging them, look, bring some more young people, because we need to encourage them, we need to get them involved in leadership here in the diaspora, some more. And in the same way in Jamaica, we need to provide more avenues for expression of leadership for young. But that don't mean to get away with the older folk. Everybody has a role to play. And I've found that going the opposite way is not the answer either. Going all young is not the answer. You need a balance of maturity, but the energy of the youth. And you need full teamwork. We have seen it played out many a time in politics. You need a balance of both to provide the adequate leadership to drive successful results, you know, so.
And the optimum word there is team.
Team, definitely.
If we have team, well, you know, we're on the right direction.
That's right. Together, each achieves more.
Oh, yes. Every time.
Definitely.
So, CG, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes.
And give us a good insight of what is happening out yonder.
And I just want to tell everybody that this year we celebrate Jamaica's 60th. I want to encourage people to like our Consulate General of Jamaica Facebook, Instagram pages. You can reach out and like my page, Mair Oliver, at Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And we try and keep persons updated of things happening in the community, what's taking place, how persons can get involved or in the immediate environment, or just hear about what's happening. And I appreciate those who have reached out to say, hey, I can volunteer to help you with an event or provide these resources, or but get involved. And just by getting in social media, you can find ways to participate when they come up. So please like our social media pages, those listening. And I thank everybody for the support that they've given. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the program. I wish you guys all the very best as you discuss real stuff. And feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
Courtney?
Take up that offer, Mr. CG, yes.
All right.
So, thanks again.
Can you do a summary for us, Courtney?
Well, a quick summary is that, you know, we spoke today with our CG for Florida and 13 other states in the southern U.S. So, Mr. Oliver Mair, you know, we spoke about his career, and we spoke also about, you know, his involvement in the theater and the arts. We talk about his volunteering at the Tower Street Correctional Facility, and you know, he being a sports fan and a big-time table tennis player, and not forgetting, you know, that he's a big-time singer also and performer. So that's just summarizing in a nutshell. So back to you, Flavors.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope that you will definitely find the time to come and speak with us again.
Thank you. And I hope,
and like I say,
and for your listeners, for those who listened in, I thank you so much for giving of your time listening in. I hope this conversation was able to inspire somebody in some shape or form. And you know, that somebody listening on will feel inspired to do something with their whatever they're dealing with, to take leadership, take some action to make a difference in your individual situation, your community, and for Jamaica land we love.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Yes, thanks. Talk to you.
Thank you again. Thank you both.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And as we close off, we'll ask Queen Labafu with the Our Father in the Garifuna language, and Tafina will take her herself to take us out.
You lead us song fulla. You belong far away away. Ajugwala lebo buseru. Leader mua, leader song fulla. Leader mua, leader song fulla.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me do what set me a figure flee. Me I fi take away me self. Me I fi take away me